Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, what a slugfest, right? It was neither team really had a lot of space on the offensive end, so we had to find other ways. I think we held them without a field goal for like 9 minutes, right? If you do the math, 6 for 30 from 2, which means we really guarded the ball really, really well. Didn't shoot it well, but 2 top 40 wins in 72 hours. That's a good thing for this team, especially. We've really had to work through mistakes, and I thought early in the ACC season our mistakes would kind of hold us back a little bit. We'd get a mistake and we'd kind of sit in it because we wanted it to be a different play. We'd look backwards, not forwards, and this game gave us a lot of opportunities to practice looking forward after mistakes, and we've made a lot of progress, clearly. So just a quality win. Happy for these guys to pull it out, and we've got one more this week to sweep it.
What was the discussion at halftime? You came out in the third quarter with your best offense of the game, after choppiness for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I thought we were just really we were staring at the post. We were really slow decision makers with the ball in our hands, right? And so we wanted to. I kind of reminded them to survey before a catch so that you can read the closeout quicker. And if there is no closeout, we're going to let the math, and we're going to keep shooting. And if there is a closeout, we're going to attack it. Whereas in the first half, I think we caught it and we held it. I think we were really trying to play through our bigs, probably a bit too much. As opposed to trusting our reads. So a couple play calls that obviously gave us really good looks, but mostly it was reminding them that we've got to make quicker decisions against a good defensive team. This is a good defensive team.
Courtney, Nyla scored double figures in, I think, 8 of 10 ACC games. Really important down the stretch, especially in this game. What can you say about kind of her game, especially in ACC?
Yeah, I'm really glad she's here. We brought her here for a reason, and she came for a reason, and it doesn't always work out that way where they two match up, right? She wanted more of an opportunity to do more things on offense and to really try with her last year to grow her game offensively and to be developed, and she's really leaned into that process. And I needed someone who I know would play really hard and would bring her experience and her ACC experience. I mean, they've got 7 seniors, we've got 4 total upperclassmen, right? And so experience does matter. So she and Indy are having to really shoulder a lot of the senior experience. And so she's playing like a senior, and certainly we need it.
Courtney, I think this is Clemson's lowest scoring game in ACC play. What was the keys of the scout on them offensively, and how were you able to stop them?
Yeah, you have to deal with Clemson. You've got to do 2 things. You've got to deal with really downhill attackers. So you have to guard your own really, really well, because if you don't, you put 2 on the ball, then you're chasing around all their actions. So we made a decision to switch everything, which we haven't done, and you probably wouldn't typically do with a big lineup. But we just trusted them and said, let's not put 2 on the basketball, right? Let's trust our interior, guarding on the perimeter. Let's trust our littles guarding in the interior. And so that kept one person on the ball, and so that we weren't recovering to action. We were still having to chase action, but we weren't recovering to it, and that obviously proved to be the right call.
I was looking at some of you guys' stats during the game, and in terms of the points you're getting from the free throw line and the rate that you're getting to the free throw line, pretty low. Is that a concern at all for you right now? Just the frequency in which you're getting to the line at points you're getting from there?
Yeah, that's a concern. Our rebounding is a concern. Our shot making right now is a concern. Lots of things, right? It's, I as a coach, I just always want, I think sometimes I probably didn't help them early in the ACC season because I want them to be so good, right? And I recognize the game can be choppy and we have to win lots of different ways. And today we had to win in different ways. And I'm really proud of them. They keep finding different ways, and they're kind of with me on that. But yeah, you either have to make threes, you've got to score off turnovers, you got to shoot free throws, you got to make free throws, right? We're doing a good job of not doing a lot of any of those and finding ways to win. But I have full confidence that obviously we will continue to work and to prioritize. But this team is not entirely finished getting better yet.
For the second straight game, the fact that you weren't drawing a lot of fouls gave you the chance to have so many fouls to give at the end, and that really helped in the last minute.
It helped a lot it helped. It didn't help in this game. Fourth quarter, we had too many fouls. They didn't have any. So we got to take time off. Yeah, so we got to take time off. Yeah, which is great because obviously end game is something that we've had to continue to work on, and they executed it to a T. And so, you get live prep with game pressure on your end game, and I feel good about how they handled that.
So in the first half, you guys were shooting 30% from the field.
Yeah.
I guess what were they doing defensively that I guess, made you, like,
Yeah.
what were they doing defensively?
We settled. We didn't play out of closeouts. We played against stationary defenders. We didn't get outside hips. I mean, really, they're a very good defensive team for sure. But we really didn't take it to them, and that was our priority. We wanted to play with physicality and pace, and I don't think in the first half we did that. And in the second half we did. We played with more physicality and more pace. And so, I give our guys a lot of credit. They stick with you. They listen. They make the adjustments they have to make. And I've got to make sure that on Sunday we come out the way that we want to come out based on the game plan.
Nyla, that third quarter run a little bit there, it seemed like you sparked that. What were you sort of seeing from the defense? How were you able to kind of exploit that and also settle up?
Yeah, I think our advantage on defense was the ability for us to switch 1 through 5. I think, like, with me being able to be a 5 and being able to guard a guard, really, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it really rustled them a little bit. Like, it was like, oh, I can never get downhill, because every time a screen was set, you're trying to get downhill, it's a switch up. We were all switching up, which caused them to retreat back, and they couldn't really get downhill as much. And then on top of that, Coach Cat was saying, and when we were doing scout, when they win, they get more three-pointers makes than in the paint. And so that's kind of what happened in the third quarter. And then on offense, I think my teammates were trusting me. They wanted to get me the ball. Even if I wasn't ready for it, they were still giving it to me. But I think that really helped me as well. Just like giving it to me and not like having to score, just going into the paint and trying to get something out, just utilizing me in that way as well really helped. But I think all in all, we just like grew closer like in the third quarter, and we just stuck together even through the turnovers, the bad mistakes. We've gotten back on the defensive end, and I think in order to get to where we want to go, that's what it's going to come down to. Not every possession is going to be perfect, but we got to make sure that we get a stop on the defensive end as much as we can.
And like Courtney was saying, how have you sort of been able to lead this team settle into kind of that veteran like leadership position?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it time and time again. I was very fortunate at Louisville to be in a role like this before, so it wasn't really something that was like, oh gosh, I don't think I can do this. I think it was just more like making sure that my teammates, respected me and let me into that role here, even though I was new, and that's what they've done. So I think that now that they've let me lead, along with Indy, it's really helped me to blossom as a player and become more confident. I think confidence is like my biggest thing, so the more confident I feel, the better I can be for my teammates.
Just from your perspective, Courtney was just talking about earlier, but some of the close, innings you had in ACC games, what do you think you guys have learned from those and playing those out?
Yeah, I think it just goes back to us just learning from each game that we get in a situation like this and how we can kind of prevent it. But I think the more deep we get in ACC play, the more people are playing for, and the more we go into teams, are playing for, and the more we go in ACC tournament, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be rough until that scoreboard says 0-0. So we just got to make sure that we're taking advantage of possessions and making sure that we can get as many stops as possible. Not every game is going to be perfect, where we're literally like under
In rhythm
10 turnovers and in rhythm and knocking shots
Well, we
down.
should be able to play without turning the ball over.
Yeah,
10
you're
times.
right. You're right.
But that's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
We're working on making mistakes and getting over it.
Getting
We did a
over
good
it,
job
yeah.
of
Like
that.
next play mentality, and I think like as much as talking to Coach Banghart about that, it's really helped my teammates as well. Like even when we make a mistake, just get over it. We're good. Now on to the next play. We'll be fine. We'll get it back.
Courtney, you mentioned that final 9 minutes where you held them. You guys are also kind of struggling to hit that knockout punch. It seems like you're really animated trying to fire them up, like another stop, another stop, another stop. What are you trying to tell them, and then how did you see it play out?
Trying to keep. I just wanted to keep them loose. Like with how we were defending. Like I think they don't understand how much they've got some freedom on the O end now. They're going to defend that well, man. Go for it, right? E came in and made big buckets. Obviously, Nyla Brooks came in and made key plays. Tisa was. I mean, Indy had 7 assists. We got that guard-to-guard back screen, and Laney was great off the dribble. I mean, we had plenty of weapons, and it was just a matter of them not turning it over. And I thought that we got the ball inside like we wanted to in the fourth, and she got a little hesitant, probably a little tired. So I was trying to urge them, like, nobody cares. Like, come on, next play. So yeah, worked out. I'm much more animated at practice. Usually in the games, I let you guys do that for me.
Yeah, for sure.
A little bit of like a flex though after the layup at the end.
Yeah, especially, so we got that, it was the same play, right? So we got one look and then the next look, and, it's like when they, early in the ACC season, not only would they not respond to mistakes, but then they would execute. They wouldn't execute with pace because they didn't want to make a mistake. And in those two, that particular set, it's only pace and decision making, right? And so I trusted them that we're going to go back to it, and you're going to play with pace and make good decision making. And they made the right decision both times, and I was just so happy for them. They worked really hard at that.
I'm curious too. I was just talking to some folks on the team over in the preseason about Kayla, the coach mate. I think is the word you have for it. I'm curious, just maybe with working on something like that, right, where so much of it is inherently kind of the like player mentality, just next play, getting to that. Maybe if you can hit on this, or you from a player perspective, does it help to have somebody who's on the bench but also so close to playing that can maybe talk to players about something like that?
No, yeah. I mean, I think as a transfer, Kayla's really helped me a lot as well. Sad to not have her on the court with me, of course, but I think her IQ and how she helps us, and also the freshmen as well. She's always in their ear, just trying to help them get better, and I think that's a great, assistant to have when the coaches don't have the time to talk to the freshmen. She does, and she's just in the locker room, so she's like really present with us, and she's always just lifting us up and constantly reminding us of things we could do better. And seal wins, and I mean,
she's going to be a really good coach someday.
She's going to be
a really good coach. She understands the game. Her voice carries. She builds trust. She knows her place. She's great on the court. She's going to be a really good coach. I can't even imagine a practice without her. It's been 5 years, right? I don't have to yet, but she's on the end of the bench so that we kind of have it bookended. But she knows just what to say and how to say it, and not too much and not too little, right? So she spends a lot of time, like she said, with our freshmen because we need them, and she just handles it. But she doesn't. I don't worry about what she has to say because she's gonna be a really good coach someday. Hopefully here.
Yeah.
How you talk about she talked about like the schematic defense of what works, and what are you seeing out there? They only had 10 points in the paint. What was working for you guys?
I think we matched their physicality. I think as post players, when we first started, it was a little bit of just like I would say we were just getting adjusted. And I think that once we matched their physicality, we're like, okay, like we know who we are. And also like the guards as well. They switched on them in the post as well, but they were like, I don't have words today.
No, you're fine. I thought you played through it, but like, remember guys, they had 13 total fouls, and 4 of them were they were trying to get the ball back.
Yeah.
So they really had 9 total fouls in the whole game, and we had 17. That's a remarkable stat. Right, and so I thought more so than that. I thought you really had to defend. Positionally sound because there was a tight whistle on that end. Right,
there definitely was.
So you guys just chested the ball. Their switches were on point. I mean, watching that back, I don't think there'll be many times where we had 2 on the ball. Right, and if you can keep 1 on the ball, that's what makes Duke so hard. They put 1 on the ball. They don't. There's not a lot of other stuff. You have to take a special roster to be able to do that. But we put 1 on the ball, and then we just trusted our defenders. And you were guarding perimeter players. Renaya was guarding post players. Laney was guarding post players. You just we just chested up and guarded.
Agreed.
Coach, two players accounted for like 60% of your offense.
Yeah.
One was Nyla, and the other one was Laney.
Yeah.
I guess what were you seeing from Laney out there today?
She's just a dog, right? She's really good off the dribble. She spent a lot of time in the off season on that. She's shooting the ball well. The shot distribution is not much different, right? It's India had 7 and Renaya had 6 and Laney had 10. It's just Laney's went in, and so did Harris's, right? But if you look at statistically, we're pretty balanced, and today we weren't. But you've got to win lots of different ways, and we needed all of Laney's and all of Nyla's tonight, and we'll need others for sure on Sunday.
Just what went into that? Sometimes it's other players' nights, but just want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I think I'll like all of Renaya's 6 shots, and if those go in, we've got. I'm not great at math on the fly, but we've got closer to double figures. And then Sierra, she really struggled with the physicality down there, right? And so we didn't necessarily want to play with both bigs if Nyla was going to hog the paint because she was such a dominant force in there. And so, she only took 3 shots, so that comes down to her offense. And I think she had more touches than that. That's, she's got to determine when she gets touches what she wants to do with them, and she's going to have to be more aggressive with them, or else we'll we'll have to be smaller or play other guys.
Perfect.
So you were hogged in the paint. That's okay though. You guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you guys.
Let us say we'll come in.